And now, the finals between Kanister and Mothkebab. Game 1 of the finals finds Mothkebab on the play, leading with an Oath of Nissa. Both players only play lands for their second turn, but when Mothkebab plays a third turn Tireless Tracker, Kanister returns it with a turn 3 Reflector Mage. Thought-Knot Seer comes down for Mothkebab on the fourth turn, but Kanister seems content to play a Sylvan Advocate and Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. Jace is heard wailing as he gets exiled from Warping Wail. A few uneventful turns finally leads to Mothkebab getting value from both Tireless Tracker and Duskwatch Recruiter. Sylvan Advocate trades for Tireless Tracker, and the animated Lumbering Falls hits Mothkebab down to 11. Mothkebab plays an Oath of Nissa and is quick to stabilize, developing out a flurry of creatures and attacking Kanister down to 13. Kanister manages to find a few creatures beyond just his lowly Reflector Mage, but Mothkebab continues to apply the pressure, multiple creatures getting found off of the Duskwatch Recruiter. An attack puts Kanister down to 5. When Kanister can only muster a Stratus Dancer, the following attack from Mothkebab proves to be too much. Mothkebab takes the first game. Game 2 of the finals, and Kanister is on the play, leading things off with an Evolving Wilds. He has a turn 2 Duskwatch Recruiter, but not to be outdone, Mothkebab has a turn 2 Deathcap Cultivator, which allows for a turn 3 Tireless Tracker and Land Trigger. Kanister seems content to do their own thing, having an active Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. A Collected Company from Kanister reveals Sylvan Advocate and Reflector Mage. The Reflector Mage bounces Tireless Tracker back to Mothkebab's hand. No plays on Kanister's next turn leads into a Languish into Sylvan Advocate, and a nice path for Mothkebab. But as it goes with Collected Company, they seem to run in multiples, and Kanister finds another Jace and Sylvan Advocate. Dromoka's command fights the two Advocates, with Kanister surviving and attacking in, leaving Mothkebab at 6. When Mothkebab plays Dragonlord Silumgar and seals the opposing Jace, things seem to look on the up and up, but an end-of-turn Bounding Krasis taps down the Silumgar and threatens 6 damage with a land drop. Ojutai's command brings back Jace from the graveyard, but more importantly draws the 6 land needed to deal exact damage to Mothkebab. Mothkebab leads things off in the finals, but mulligans to 6. He doesn't find his second land until turn 3, where they're finally able to cast their Deathcap Cultivator. Now ahead on land, Kanister flashes in a Bounding Krasis on Mothkebab's upkeep in order to tap down the Cultivator. Duskwatch Recruiter finds a spot on the battlefield, but Kanister is able to continue the attack and even flashes in a main phase Collected Company, finding Nissa, Vastwood Seer, and Tireless Tracker. A Tireless Tracker of their own, in addition to a Deadweight, seem to keep Mothkebab in the running of things, but when Kanister attacks with 5 open mana, the Archangel Avacyn that gets flashed in post-blocks makes the team indestructible and eats both of the blockers Mothkebab was able to trade. The pressure is continuously applied by Kanister, while Mothkebab is helpless to the attacks. He eventually succumbs to Archangel Avacyn transforming, dealing the final 3 points of damage. Kanister wins the match over Mothkebab 2-1 to win the finals.